On this week's episode of the Players Experience podcast, we are joined by NHL alumni Andy Delmore. Andy's going to be chatting about what his career and experiences were like growing up through the OHL, being drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers back in 1997, after not being drafted at all during the draft year itself. He's also going to chat about what his favorite experience was between the four clubs he played with, and what it's like now to be able to be retired but still be in the sport of hockey and sharing his experiences with the next generation of skaters. Before we bring Andy onto the show, of course, we would like to give credit to our production team, J Solti Photography, for all the work that they do with the images and the videos that you see each and every week. So if you haven't followed them on Instagram, please do so, because you will not be disappointed. Also, guys, remember on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to subscribe, hit the follow button so that you guys don't miss any future episodes, because we are coming at you each and every week with new guests, with new and exciting experiences and stories throughout their work, their careers, and much more. Also, guys, remember we have partnerships with Hush Blankets and the Great North Apparel, so hit me up if you want some coupon codes for those products as well to get some discounts on some great products from those two fantastic organizations. Now, without any further ado, let's bring Andy on and start talking about some hockey. Hey, Andy, how's it going, man?
Not bad. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining us today. How is everything going on your end with COVID surrounding us right now?
Well, it's not a fun time, as we all know, but we got to hang in there for a few more months and, hopefully turn the corner here sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about some positive stuff about your career and your experiences. I want to find out first, did you know from a young age that you wanted to make a career out of hockey? Or if so, how did that journey begin for you?
You want to know what? I played a ton of sports growing up, not just hockey. So, just like every kid, when I grew up, we played a lot of sports. It was, baseball, hockey, basketball. I did track and field. I played football in high school. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I would say probably when I got to junior A in North Bay, that's when it kind of sunk in that this was what I was going to do, or try to do anyways.
That's great. And talking about your career with North Bay, so you started off your OHL career with the North Bay Centennials, followed by the Sarnia Sting, obviously in the OHL. And then one thing that was really cool was that in your last game with the Sting, the last season rather, you recorded 78 points in 63 games. How much work and dedication went into your junior career, especially that year, to put up those kind of numbers?
Well, I'd say in North Bay, obviously being there as a 16-year-old, with a very good hockey team, we ended up winning the OHL championship that year. I didn't have a lot of playing time, but a lot of practice time. There was a lot of extra time spent, with the coaches and even without the coaches. Your first year junior, it's one of those things where your team has the ice for so long, you can stay out there forever if you want. And, I found myself staying on the ice and, working on shooting pucks, just basically didn't want to get off the ice that first year. So, like I said, with a good hockey team, the ice time wasn't that available during games, but I took it upon myself with a few other young guys that we just, we worked as hard as we could. Hoping for the chance. And, I guess that'll lead me on to that final season, in Sarnia after I got traded there, was it all kind of paid off, throughout those 4 years of, the hard work, the great coaching I received, about the game and how to prepare and be ready. So, it was a culmination of a lot of things for that hockey season to happen.
That's cool. And for you, it must have felt a little bit special being able to play with Sarnia. Being from LaSalle, your family's able to come and see you play a little bit easier than traveling all the way up to North Bay.
Yeah, it was. I don't think my parents missed a home game, to be honest. And if it was, there was a big, big snowstorm. That's for sure. It means a lot. As a kid, moving away, it's always hard. But when you come back, you kind of realize, how much they like seeing you play. To be honest.
That's great. I know my parents have always been supportive, like with my sports. I think most parents are of any kid's sports, and it's really cool just to see all the parents in the stands and being able to, if you score a goal or shoot a basket or whichever sport it is, being able to like look up in the crowd, know where they're sitting, and like kind of point to them or wave to them or
Yeah,
something like that.
for sure.
It's definitely a
And,
special moment.
and I think the thing that we realize later on in life is how much time they actually put in during your childhood for this to happen. So, uh, that's the other thing that you kind of start to realize at a certain point.
All the kilometers pay off.
Yeah, exactly. Kilometers, gas, time, taking their lunch break to come see you play. Like it's interesting when you get a little older how it all runs through your head.
Now, you started off your NHL career in 1998 after you signed with the Philadelphia Flyers. After you found yourself undrafted during the 1997 draft, what was the mentality like for you going undrafted and then being able to sign with the Flyers to get your career started?
Well, I'll probably say that that's the one thing that lit a massive fire. Um, it was I used the word chip on the shoulder a little bit. I know it's a little bit old school, but it definitely it made me work a lot harder in the summer, getting workouts, hiring a trainer that I'd never done before, uh, and just basically doing everything I could to, I don't want to say prove anybody wrong. I don't think that's the right thing to say. Maybe prove to myself that I can do it. So it definitely, excuse me, definitely lit a fire. That's for sure.
And it definitely did light that fire because during your rookie season, you made history by becoming the first rookie defenseman to record a hat trick in the playoffs. Following that, you also scored the overtime winner in Game 3 of the 2000 Eastern Conference semifinals. What was it like for you to be able to know that you etched your name in the record book as a rookie in the league?
It was very surreal. It was I always tell the story, somebody could have stole my car that night and I would have just said, "Okay, you can have it." Like, I'll walk home. I'm not even going to report it. It's okay. That's the feeling that you had is just top of the world, just a great feeling to be able to not just etch yourself in the books, but help your team. Everybody says, "What's the biggest goal you ever scored?" And everybody thought it'd be the hat trick. And I always tell them it's not even close. It's the overtime goal to help your team stay in a series was, by far the biggest for me.
Definitely. And yeah, those priceless moments kind of just anything bad could happen that night. And you're like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah, you can have the car. It's just a small thing, so you can have it.
Now, throughout your career, you played with four NHL clubs, including the Flyers, the Predators, Sabres, and the Blue Jackets. Out of those clubs, which experience would you have to say kind of stood out as your most favorite?
Well, I'd probably say Philadelphia. It's kind of where I got my start. 2.5 years in the minors before I made basically the big club. So almost 5 years spent there total. Um, just a lot of good things. My first year in the AHL, winning the Calder Cup was a very big thing for me. Um, it was a lot of time. Great city, as we all know, the sports fans there. Eagles, Sixers, Phillies. It is a massive sports town and a lot of fun to be a part of, even at the minor league level.
Now, talk about Philadelphia for a second. I have to chat about the Eagles because it's crazy how that city must be hating, or like the Eagles right now must be like kind of dealing with all the nonsense over the questionable call during that Eagles last regular season game when they kind of pull out Jalen Hurts, and
Yeah, for sure.
it's
You
kind
know,
of
it's
interesting.
funny. Everybody's thinking what actually probably happened. There's 100% they did not want the Giants to win.
Yeah.
I believe in it, and that's the type of sports fans and people they are. Is like, nope. if we're not winning, you're not winning. It's actually pretty amazing. Like, there's no way I watched that game and I was like, what? How is this guy not playing right now? And sure enough, in Sudfeld, like, nothing against the guy, but like, let's be serious. He's not that good.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, talking about your career within like the 4 different clubs, is there, like you just talked about your favorite kind of sit town or team to play with, but was there one matchup during those 4 seasons or with those 4 clubs that where you had to go up against a fierce competitor or you had to get in a fight, say, or something like that, that kind of stood out as something in your mind that still stands to today?
Uh, you want to know what stands out the most to me? And you'll be surprised, but it was in the minors my first couple of years. Um, so our affiliate, the Flyers affiliate, was actually in Philadelphia. Was the Philadelphia Phantoms, and prior to the Phantoms, the the Flyers were affiliated with the Hershey Bears.
Okay.
Just not too far away. So with that happening, the Flyers, or sorry, the Phantoms and the Hershey Bears had the biggest rivalry I'd ever been a part of. Like, it was hatred. It was and then you played 12 times a year to boot. So it was a rivalry. I don't know if you've ever been to the old Hershey Arena. Like, it was just, hatred is the word. Like, it was
Okay.
flat out that bad. Like, exhibition games, I remember. I wasn't a big fighter. Exhibition game in Hershey, there was 3 of us left on each bench for about the last 5 minutes of the game. We played 3-on-3. Like that, everybody just fought. It
That's
was
great.
like, oh my! It was like, what's going on? Looking around, going, are we actually going to finish this game?
Next thing
It was.
go down.
Oh yeah, 3-on-3. I don't think there might have been one goal. Like, it was just crazy to think that how it was back then. But then you can build off of that and say, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia Flyers, still huge rivalry. I think they're playing tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they are actually.
In state, the state of Pennsylvania, it's a big rivalry as well.
That's great. And you know what? Sports rivalries are always the best because it gives you something to kind of cheer for, cheer against, whatever you want to do, but it makes the sport or the engagement of the game so much better.
I think it's the fans just love it. As a player, you play 82 games in a schedule. They're all big. They're all big games to win. The fans just eat those rivalries up, though, and the media, to be honest.
Oh, the media is a whole other
It's a
avenue.
whole different avenue.
Now, you found yourself playing a few seasons with the AHL, as you mentioned. What was the experience like to consistently grind through to make your way back to the NHL when you had to play some full seasons in the AHL?
Uh, you just take it as part of the journey. It happens. You can't be down. You got to go in there and you got to be a great person, a great teammate, and try and get back to where you want to be. Um, it's not fun, but it's the way it is. Every year, there's new players coming into the NHL, and people are getting sent down. If you look at the waivers this year, good players. It happens. When my time was up, it was. I had a tough time getting back, but I'll never regret anything. It was everything I could have done. I tried. So
That's good. And yeah, it's all about the perseverance and just like the dedication to the sport to get to where you want to be. And now, when the NHL lockout happened in 2004, you found yourself over in Germany to play with the DEL before heading back to the NHL the following year. You ended up finding yourself back in Germany a few years later in 2007 to once again play there. What was it like to hop between the 2 leagues and play ultimately 2 different styles of hockey?
um, trying to think of that first year in Germany that well. We had a great team during the lockout. We had a lot of really good players. It was a lot of fun to immerse yourself in a different culture. Not even the hockey part. It was just guys trying to figure out life in a total foreign place. Uh, we had a coach there at the beginning of the year that only spoke German. So every drill, everything was in German. So it was different. I'd do it again. I think everybody should do that, because I think it's you learn a lot about yourself and life, and seeing how other people live, not just within Ontario. Like, really, that's all I really knew. The hockey style, it's different. It's different. That's big. That's a big ice sheet. It's almost too big, in my opinion. You almost have too much time to think. You're not really reacting. You can kind of get it, look around. I don't need that much time. It's, when I think too much, you're going to maybe make the wrong choice. So, that's with the puck, without the puck, playing defense on that big ice, there's a lot of time and space for those guys to skate. And, there's a lot of good players over there, a lot of really good hockey players. As you were starting to see, through the Olympics, the World Juniors in Germany, they're good hockey players.
Yeah, this World Juniors that just concluded, there was a lot of really good young talent, and I'm really excited just to kind of see what the future of the World Junior holds for, obviously for Canada, but for those, like for Germany, Slovakia as well, because they had some really
For
great
sure.
talent on the ice.
Yeah, and it's the proof's in the pudding when Tim Stützle gets drafted third overall to Ottawa.
Yeah.
So is he the highest, or is Draisaitl still the highest German pick?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like Strutzel might be, but
Yeah, like that's what I mean. A kid from Germany is getting drafted in the top 3 of the NHL draft. They're developing some players there, and they must be really dialing in. All kinds of different things, from stick handling, hockey skills, puck skills. They're doing a real good job.
what was also really cool about Strutzel's, or about this draft, and having him be picked from Ottawa, is having now the late Alex Trebek do the pick for him.
Very touching moment for Canadians with him. Rest in peace.
Yeah, definitely. Now, at the conclusion of the 2012-2013 season, you announced your retirement from the game. Being able to walk away from the game on your own is tough at any point, regardless of 3 years, 16 years, etc. But how was it for you to make that decision and know your time was done after a great 16-year career, and kind of be able to walk away without like having an injury kind of force you to walk away?
I wanted to keep on playing. I was going to. I was relatively healthy still. Obviously some nicks here and there, but nothing too crazy. But I got a phone call from a buddy of mine that I played junior with, and I played with in Columbus, Trevor Lutowski. He was just got announced as the head coach of our old junior team in Sarnia. And he'd asked me if I wanted to come coach with him. And, me and my wife thought about it, and I thought about it by myself. And it was just time. It just seemed like that was something that I wanted to do. And it was just time to close it up and go into coaching and help some young kids pass on all the stuff that I had been through, and teach them, just give back, I guess the word I'm looking for, give back to the game.
Now, talking about giving back and showing that mentorship and the leadership, a lot of individuals have those mentors in their life that help drive them to success. As most hockey players know, those drives to the rink, as we just talked about earlier, with all the kilometers and the gas and the time spent, don't happen easily. Who would you say would be one of your biggest motivators if you had to choose one?
I would probably say coach in Sarnia, Mark Hunter. Now with the London Knights, was with the Toronto assistant GM for a while there. Just a guy that very hard on us, very motivating and hard on us, but yet still found a way to make you feel good. I don't understand still how he made us work that hard, but yet we still liked him. It was crazy. And he just taught us, just to make some simple plays once in a while, work hard, be an honest player, and good things will happen, basically.
That's great. Now, Talking about my last section of the show, I always like to end off the show with a section called Words of Wisdom, where I always ask everyone to share their words of wisdom or their advice for the next generation of athletes. So in your case, with the next generation of ice hockey players, what would your advice be to the next generation for those that want to make a name for themselves or make a career out of hockey?
Well, like I said, I use a lot of stuff that I went through, and I guess people always say work hard, or if you work hard, it'll pay off. Put in the work. It's true. You put in the work, you put in the time, work on your skills, and never give up. There is a chance. Like the numbers, they're not great, right? We all have seen the stats on numbers. Throw it out the window. You can't even think about it. If you want it, you got to try and get it, and you have to have fun. You have to. If you're in a grind of I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to try, you got to have fun with the game. You got to laugh. You got to care about your teammates, and have fun off the ice in a gym. If you're working out, have fun. Bear down and get it done, but you got to have fun, because it's not gonna. One day it'll be over. That could be your junior career, never to play again. It could happen at any time. So you got to enjoy everything and have a ton of fun.
Great words of wisdom from Andy Delmore. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to be on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out.
No problem. We'll be in touch soon.
Okay, thank you.
No.